Is it right that girls and women can stock up on the morning after pill under new NHS guidance? I think actually it's National Institute for Health and Clinical Excellence guidance, but the point is there anyway. Stocking up on the morning after pill. Mr. Clegg.
I have to say to you, I am absolutely appalled, and in fact, really quite angry on behalf of many, many women across the country about this suggestion that giving a woman the right to buy a morning after pill will somehow automatically lead to more promiscuous behaviour. I think it's demeaning. I think it's patronising. I think it's sexist. You know, it's quite astonishing. You know, women don't take the morning after pill lightly. It's not just something you casually do. But to say to a woman she cannot have the right, in case she has unprotected sex, and just in case, to have the morning after pill available to her, and to say, oh no, you can't possibly have that right because we, whoever's we, the government, society, or whichever newspaper columnist is pontificating about this, think you'll suddenly become terribly promiscuous, I think is an absolute insult to women across the country.
Have you told Jeremy Hunt, the Health Secretary, this? Because he's rather worried about it.
Well, I haven't spoken to him about it, but I fundamentally disagree with anyone who says...
Well, he's expressed concern.
By the way,
you will be aware of this, Mr. Clegg.
Well, I believe the experts who have quite clearly said that providing the morning after pill, and indeed other forms of contraception, the evidence is very, very clear. It doesn't lead to more promiscuous behaviour. It does, however, help prevent unwanted pregnancies. But I just think that you know, this is lifting a lid on a really fundamental difference in attitude towards women. Women shouldn't be told, we're not going to give you the freedom to buy something from a chemist because you think you might need it, because otherwise we don't trust how you will behave sexually. I mean, it's just a sort of Victorian, worse than that. It's a sort of medieval approach to women, and that's why I am as angry as I am on behalf of women. That is the attitude that is now being reflected in a lot of the debate on this issue this morning.
Healthy debate to come then with Mr. Hunt, I would suggest, Mr. Clegg.
Well, I can't have made my views more clear.
You couldn't. Just lastly on this, are you aware that the guidance also says that girls under 16 can avail themselves of these pills? Your reaction to that?
Well, and there's a long-standing issue about the point at which doctors and other medical professionals, have got to encourage 16-year-olds, and of course anyone younger than that, to speak to their parents.
Yes.
And that's what they must do, wherever they possibly can. But at the end of the day, when you're faced with the reality of a teenager who is in trouble, you as a medical expert want to help them, right? And I think for us to sort of decree that they can or they can't help someone, at the end of the day, that's not going to alter the fact that 16-year-old is in trouble.
Under 16-year-old, Mr. Clegg, I have to repeat, under 16. You're happy with that?
I do not want to see teenage. I don't want to see anybody, if at all possible, suffer unwanted pregnancies. I don't want to see the very high rates we've had in the past in this country of unwanted pregnancies for very young individuals. But the way to deal with it, the way to deal with that is to make sure that we go with the evidence, and the evidence is very clear, is that if you provide people with information, with education, if you empower them with that information, if you make contraception available to them on a responsible basis, that's the way that we stop unwanted pregnancy, not by resorting to really outdated attitudes towards women.